Okay, Andrew.
Milk's off!
Milk is off. Milk's always off. But let's start today, Andrew, with some heartwarming. I like that. What are you, some kind of GP?
Yeah.
Right,
GP?
Yeah, general practitioner. I've been to mine
whatever.
far too often these last few weeks.
Oh, how's your health, Bob?
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, what were you saying?
So let's start off with some heartwarming sounds from the cash and carry. Probably a Costco in Sunderland. All right?
Yeah.
All customers are reminded that blue drink is restricted to one pallet or 98 individual bottles per member. Oh, pet, get our 12 box of Nurofen, will ya? Ronnie Yates' Rock and Roll Express are on at the Legion tonight. Ma'am, can we get dippers and chips from Cheap and Chirpy on the way home? Nah, you can't. The council shut it down because muck was dripping into the kitchen from the bags of dog bath thrown on the roof. Right, madam, that will be £45.50. Would you like accompanying to your moped? Because Ben Kenny is in the car park with a machete. And there we go. That's the heartwarming sounds of Costco Sunderland.
That's, for me, that's something to aspire to because I'm not a retailer, so I don't get a Costco card. Well, I can imagine that's what it's like, yeah.
Andy, and listeners, here's the thing, though.
Right.
You drive past looking wantonly, is the word, at a Costco, right?
Yeah.
Think, no, if only. Truth is, Andy, you can just be an individual member. You simply have to pay a small fee, which you recoup the moment you buy a giant box of washing powder.
I thought this podcast was sponsored by Harrys.com.
Oh, right. No, I
Costco?
don't. Any of the, there are other, whatever they call it, cash and carries available.
You don't need to be a retailer to get in.
No. I've got a
Well,
Costco
the
card.
skills have fallen from my eyes, Bob.
My Christmas trip to Costco is one of the highlights of my years.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is.
Perhaps I could come with you this year and we could do it
Oh,
as a
perhaps,
podcast.
of course, you couldn't. You know what I mean?
That's another option, yeah.
I'll give you a name choice, Andy.
Please do.
Would you like to be Ricky Pickles?
Oh.
He's 50. Oh, he's 50, tall, slim, thin, long blonde hair, right? Denim jacket and jeans, white Converse, works for DHL, yeah? And he's got tattooed on his fingers, fuck Parcel Force. Tattooed, yeah?
Company man.
Yeah, on his thing.
Loyalty.
Yeah, so you might like that
I like
aspect of him. Okay. Johnny Congo, right? Amiable bike thief,
Yep.
is what he would describe himself
Yep.
as. Happy to do time occasionally because his wife's always kneeing him in the balls for a daft laugh. See what I mean? Now, he's got one of them legs like Oscar Pistorius. So that's
Oh.
nice, isn't it? I thought
Nice
that might
quirk.
appeal. So, company man or Johnny Congo?
Johnny Congo, please.
Hiya, Johnny.
How about yourself? There's a couple of choices for you here. Lenny Biscuits. Now, Lenny hides biscuits in his tracksuit top up the Asda,
Right,
gets to the till, and then he slides them out,
right.
and he says, I could have nicked these, but I didn't.
Nice.
Right? Then he puts a £5 down,
Yeah.
so he hasn't got to get them out of his tracksuit, because obviously they cost less than a £5,
Yeah.
and it's not illegal to not scan the barcode.
Okay.
He's handing over the £5, and he's getting the biscuits, and he feels like he's nicked them. And he funds that by stealing perfume from Debenhams.
Okay, so let's forget the Debenham side of things. I'm not interested in that, right?
Right.
What he does down the Asda is perfectly kosher. I could have
Totally
nicked
legit.
these.
I could have nicked these, but I didn't.
I could have. I think
Because he hasn't walked out through the door with them in his tracksuit.
Yeah.
He's just kept them there. Not illegal.
Rightio. Hope they're
And
not
then
digestive.
He
So
lands lands a £5 down on the
Yeah.
checkout.
I think you need to change. I might consider being him if you change. I think you said I could have nicked them. Fine, but I
Yeah.
think you need to go right down for the second bit. But I didn't.
Oh.
Try that, Andy.
I could have nicked them, but I didn't. That's Lenny Biscuits.
All right.
And his second choice is the masked bastard.
Rightio.
Now, he wears a mask, but the mask is actually a picture of his own face.
Right.
No one knows this because it's actually him behind the mask and they never get to see behind the mask.
Yes.
That's his favourite bit of bastardry.
Yeah.
He also does other low-level stuff like gluing pound coins on the road outside the food bank and loosening the tops on the salt cellars in the Asda Caff.
Rightio.
So there's your choice. You can be Lenny Biscuits or the Masked Bastard.
Well, I'm going to be Lenny, right?
But with that little twist.
And can I have that little twist again?
You can.
Thank you. You do it.
I could have nicked these, but I didn't.
I like.
There
What I
he is.
didn't.
What I didn't. You've got
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You've got your medal on there again, Bob, today. It says sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter, yes. I
And,
won
where
this in
did you get-
America.
Did you got it in America, did you?
Yep.
I was wondering if you got it at the Retired Entertainers Day Centre that you go to now and again.
Ha ha. Never go to such a place. I
No,
got it in
no,
America
not
at a
allowed.
shooting fucking
Not
range.
allowed. Just a bronze, though.
Yeah, it's just a bronze, yeah. Just a
Okay.
bronze, but I'm perfectly proud of it.
Good for you.
Thank you. Went to the pictures this week.
What you saying?
Well, I didn't go to the pictures. I went to a private screening,
Well, obviously,
preview
yeah.
a film called The Dark Tower. Yeah, it's based on Stephen King novels, apparently. It's a nice preview theatre in Soho.
Yeah.
Invite only, Andy.
Yeah, obviously.
Did your invite come?
It must have got lost in the post. or
It must have
something.
got lost in the post. Well, you got a nice gift bag, right? You got a DVD of the film.
A bronze medal.
Yeah. A little model of Idris Elba sat on top of a shed. So that's nice, isn't it? And a little trial-sized bottle of perfume called Moviegoer.
Ooh.
So that made me feel part of
It must
the
have
movie
made you feel
business.
powerful, did it?
Anyway, the film had already started, right? When in walks Dara
Oh,
O'Brien,
Christ.
Greg Wallace,
Oh, God.
David Williams, and they frickin' sit right behind me. Well, as usual, they ruined the film, so I got a recording of it,
Okay,
Andy.
go on.
Just play it now on my machine.
Boiled onions!
That's Greg.
Boiled onions!
Did you not see anything? Did you not see anything there? 3 against 1.
No, I'm so, Greg, Dara, you couldn't just tone it down a bit, could you?
Get that! Oh! Get that!
Oh, Jesus.
What if there was a magical kingdom that only we knew about?
So I turned it
Well,
off and...
I've got to say I'm quite pleased that didn't come along. If that's what it's like.
Oh, so it ruined it. I didn't leave. I went down the front left. I was far too near the screen. Terrible film.
Was it?
I went to see, I've had 2 real duffers this week. Atomic Blonde and The Dark
Crap
Tower.
as well, is it?
Oh, awful, man. So bad. So
I was going to do a story about something that happened earlier on, but it turns out that it involves a friend of yours. So this is the bit where I don't do that.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I mean, it's difficult.
That's all
innit?
right. We're not
It's-
going to tell him who it was.
It's so difficult because, like, Dara O'Brien,
Yeah.
he's a lovely chap. Dave Williams,
Yeah.
Greg.
But none of them are friends of yours.
But
Nicholas Parsons.
if you know, like, I wouldn't. You can't touch Parsons. Mm-hmm. You can't shoot Hugh Scully. You can't touch. You know, none of my
Sorry.
close friends.
And before I have an experience, I'll run the participants by you in the future.
Thank you. If you could. Premier League has started, Andy. Yeah,
It has, yeah.
Well, Shane Dyche's men have beaten Chelsea. Chelsea beaten Spurs. Man United have scored 8 in 2 games. Huddersfield, West Brom.
And that's the football content out of the
That's
way
the
for
football,
this
but
week.
it's a nice way of introducing what's been happening with the gangs of the EPL. So I was in the North East, Andy, doing a charity night for the aldermen, you know, raising money to buy reinforced bedroom doors for the daft kids.
Already, it's a crossover. I'm liking it.
So I went to the Newcastle Spurs match. You know, why not? I'll go and have a look. VIP tickets, players lounge, sit-down meal, you know, the full shit on a sixpence. Andy, do you know what I mean? Even, do you know, they even had NUFC napkins on the table. So it says... embroidered on it. Didn't wipe your ass with this. It's for our hands and spillage up the Toon. That's a nice touch, isn't it? It's all Geordie grub, you know what I mean? Chicken strips, dark meat pies.
Yeah.
Not light chicken porter, dark meat pies. Jelly and carnation, bread and butter, baked beans,
Nice.
that sort of thing. I'm sat, you know, it's like a Legends lounge thing, and it's lounge place. And I'm sat with Peter Beardsley.
Mm-hmm.
So Peter Beardsley says to me, I was going to get book on North watch football. Is that how he speaks?
I think so, yeah.
I said, I'm so sorry, I didn't catch that. He says, so can you get notes from your match? You know, is it often? No, is it not that often? My man twice a month will be in case. I said, oh, well, I'm none the wiser. I don't know if you caught
Did you
that.
have a translator for him?
So I just said, yeah, I agree, Peter. Are you having a nice time? He said, everyone's so tall and all the colours are too bright. Sometimes I feel as if the ball was closing in. Well, I just drift off because I see John Selvey going into the toilets. Now, I follow him because you know me, Andy, I can smell trouble.
Yeah.
And you might remember in the match,
And he reeks of it, doesn't he?
Yeah, and John stood on Debbie Alley's ankle
did.
and got sent off, right? So I sneak in the toilet, get in the cubicle next to JJ. So he takes off his Armani jeans, right? And his belt buckle falls, so I can just see it underneath the cubicle. And it's been engraved with the words, I am an adult wolf, which is nice, isn't it, Andy? Nice personalisation.
That's what you're into. Yeah.
Anyway, after a lot of straining and pushing and shoving, John, he drops
He's
like
a physical player, isn't he?
he drops like a perfectly spherical lump about the size of a tennis ball. Now, I know this because he took a photo of it.
I was wondering.
Yeah,
how
well, he
you
took
knew.
a photo of it, and by mistake, he had his air share thing on.
Right.
So it came up on my screen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could hear him trying to flush it, but I wouldn't shift.
At this point, you're confessing to the fact that you regularly visit gentlemen's toilets with your air share turned on, hoping to just see what you can get.
See what I can get.
Yeah.
See what road that takes me down.
Fair enough, carry on.
And he sounded really frustrated. Like he was saying things like, oh, that's awful. Oh, my word, JJ, you've done it now. Christ's sake, shift, why don't you? Actually, he's probably a bit more... is he Eastern European?
No.
He really looks it.
Well, he might be descended from that.
I might try it a bit more like... How do vampires speak?
I want to suck your
Oh,
blood.
that's awful. Oh, my word, JD, you've done it now. Christ's sake, shift, why don't you? Anyway, he gives up, opens his door. There, standing in front of him, is the White Harts. Harry, Debbie, Eric stood there, right? Now, Debbie's got ankle bandage on that the other players have put stickers on for him from his injury from JJ. He's got stickers of SpongeBob, Frozen the movie, Barney the dinosaur, that to cheer him up, right?
Yeah.
Harry straight in. We are here to confront you, John. That tackle you made on Debbie was very upsetting and unwarranted. No matter how frustrated you were, there is no excuse for acting like Boots McNaughty. He says, look, I'm sorry, mate. These things happen in the heat of the moment, innit? Harry says, excuse me, don't you try and pour fresh cream on choppy waters. Can you not see how upset Debs is? He's in a right fluffery buffery. Tell him, Debs. So Deb says, I am very upset. I'm down in the dumps. I'm feeling quite tiffly-wiffly. What made you do it? It's like you is hurting. Did your mum not pay you attention when you was a kid? Because to be honest, your attitude stinks. Look, mate, my mum was an adult wolf and my dad worked for the Misterons. So yes, I do have a nasty temper. I've said I'm sorry. Well, I'm afraid that's not good enough, young man. You will have to be punished and feel our ferocious heat. Eric? Well, Eric reveals that he has a jug of like Toon tap water in his hand and it's got 3 hot dog sausages in it, Andy.
Ooh.
So that's a nice number of sausages, isn't it? And Harry says, we are going to throw this jug of warm water over you. It's just warm, so don't panic. It has just taken a bit of warmth from the hot sausages. It won't scald you, but it won't be very pleasant if you should cocoa. Well, it's fair enough, but can I just hang on my jacket in the cubicle? Eric says, don't let him, boss. It might be a trick. It's a very good point, Eric, but I'm satisfied that he is not about to play as a turnip. Go on, son. Hang your jacket up. So JJ goes back in the cubicle, but he emerges with his spherical Todd in his hands. Harry, oh, fucking hell, it was a trick. What a nincompoop I have been. A total Boots McFoolish. Look, lads, it's simple. You throw that warm water at me and Debbie gets this in his face. It's 4 weeks of slowly digested owl wing. It's not nice at the best of times, which I'm sure you all know is actually today. Well, Debbie starts crying. That is unfair. If I get that on my face, I'm going to be ruffled and gloomy. What a crummy thing to have happened. Well, there's a bit of what you might call Mexican standoff, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The jug of water, the Todd. Then suddenly the toilet doors opened and a massive bloke in a black cape and white tights blows a trumpet and announces. So it's like, Howie, make way, and vacate the shitter for His Highness King Rafa. Well, Rafa enters to another trumpet blast. He's wearing a magnificent black and white fur gown and a crown made from magpie feathers, yeah?
Yeah.
So all the players know that the game's up. They just like shuffle out. I stay in the cubicle with my door open a bit so it still looks like it's empty. That's a good tactic,
Nice
isn't
one.
it, Andy? Just as JJ passes Rafa stops him. He says, I'll take that nice tapas meatball to nibble on the pot, if you don't mind. Yeah, I know. So Rafa gets in the cubicle next to me, gets on his phone. How does Rafa speak?
We've never heard him speak, have we?
Spanish.
He's Spanish.
Should I make him speak like that? I don't know. Hello, darling. It's the king here. I miss you so much.
Like Manuel. Okay.
All right, yeah. Listen, no need to cook for the king tonight. He's just downed a very heavy tapas meatball in a one, and it's sitting very large in the king's tummy. The king will see you later. Hoot, hoot. So, that's a nice story, isn't it, Andy?
That was a lovely story, yeah.
Did you think it were a bit like the TV box set Prison Break?
Not really. You know what? It reminded me of when Mork appeared in Happy Days.
Right.
Because it had that crossover thing from other stories that you do.
I see. You do know why he said hoot hoot at the end, don't you? Were you listening?
There's an owl wing, something.
Yeah, because he'd just eaten like essence of owl.
And it turned him part owl.
Well, yeah, that's what's happened.
That could happen.
Wife's
Good
questions. Wife's questions.
All
Right?
right, then. Before we do that, can I...
Of course.
I'd like to inform you that I've done another song,
Oh, fuck.
but it's for the good of the world. It's about recycling,
Yeah.
you know, and that kind of thing. So I'll play that to you now.
How long is it?
If it's just a minute,
Okay.
it might seem longer, but
can-
it's just. I swear, it's just a minute.
I'll bear it for a minute, I reckon.
Here we go.
If you're going on a trip, if you're going to the tip, if you don't want any chip, you better use the right skip. I visited my local tip centers a day to deposit the malfunctioning deep fat fryer, which I had no further use for. As I heard that it was a general vase skip, the attendant ran across at me from the skips where the rubber and the hardcore goes. He yelled, "How very much what you do, like? That's electrical appliance. You need to leave it over by the main gate where the signpost for electrical recycling is. Get on, get your silly man, fish it out and put it where it belongs, you fucking backer." Do you think he would have done that if I was a copper?
Well, Andy, I do
What are your
apologise.
initial thoughts?
I couldn't hear what you were saying.
That's what was intended, because
Right.
it's intended for repeat listening,
Right.
and it'll gradually sort of seep into your consciousness like osmosis.
Is there enough there to make people want to come back for seconds?
I think there's a curiosity factor to it. Yeah.
Okay,
That was
well-
my intention.
Perhaps people would like to tweet if they did manage to
If they can
motivate
identify
themselves.
any of the words that were in that song, fine.
Hey, listen up. I'm gonna do a little bit of the Landlord, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that in my mind, the Landlord isn't Barry Homeowner.
No, he's not a different fella, isn't he?
But have you ever thought that?
Not for a while.
Okay, so let's do a bit of ding dong.
Right, go for it.
Ding dong, Landlord here. Hi, renter. I've brought a Hoover round for you. I thought you could empty the bag into your kids' litter tray. Be nice and soft on their bony arses. Ding dong, Landlord here. I'm afraid I'm going to have to remove the stair carpet. I need it to wrap around my feature palm plant to keep the frost off. Ding dong, landlord here. I got this new rent book for you. It's in big writing so you can understand it, and has the telephone number of the Samaritans on the back in case you need a pep talk the day before rent day. Ding dong, landlord here. Just thought you should know I'm going to Mauritius next week, so if you have any complaints, can you write them down on a piece of paper and post it to the town dump, Peterborough? Yeah, I wasn't that happy with them, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wife's questions.
Yes.
Andrew, when you are at the match to watch the Black Cats, do you have a pie before, during, and after every corner and throw-in? I suppose what she's...
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a no,
because we don't get that many corners.
I suppose what she's suggested is, like, because you look like you do.
You're just fat bastard who eats lots of pies. Yeah.
Andrew, in Sunderland, are the streets named after favourite Sunderland things, such as Dipper Street, Blue Drink Close, Foam Sweet Alley, or favourite sites such as Todd Road, Devil Dog Lane, Poundland Parade?
No.
Okay. It is awkward. I'm going to ask the wife to do some questions that you can actually answer. Do you know about Douglas Bader?
I know something about him.
So how would you sum him up?
War hero, no legs.
Right. Well, I don't know whether this is true, but I've been told, I was gobsmacked, that far from being a war hero, right, he was actually shot down by his own crews.
Right.
Because they hated him so much. Oh, no, honestly, I mean, this is what I was told. I'm not saying it's true. It's like,
have you been reading your conspiracy websites again?
But here's one that I believe is more likely to be true.
Right.
I'd love people... I couldn't find out from the Google search or whatever, but apparently when he was in Colditz, because he was a colonel or a general or something, he was allowed to have a a servant or whatever from the ranks. And when he was exchanged for a German colonel, they said, right, you're free to go back to England, as it were, and you can take your fellow with you.
Oh.
And he said, no, fuck that.
Leave him there.
Leave him there. Well, I don't know, but I thought it was quite interesting.
Well, it could be something to talk about in a future podcast. Maybe we could do War Hero special. Is that the final? Is that the final question from your wife?
Debug War Heroes.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Debugging? Debunk 'em.
War Heroes debunked. Is that the final question? Because I've got questions from my kids.
Oh, go on then.
Callum and Morgan.
Yeah.
Uncle Bob, where you live in the millionaire playground that is Market Harbour, are there any areas where blue-collar workers are allowed to congregate, such as a spit and sawdust pub, an industrial unit on the outskirts of town, or maybe an abandoned quarry where they can congregate and fight?
Andrew, I wouldn't know. I'm with you in sentiments. I expect those things exist somewhere.
Outside of your realm.
Outside of my realm.
Right, fair enough. Second question, do you know your tailor's first name, or do you only address him by his surname?
I don't have a tailor, so I have no need to address him either way.
I've got CCTV that says you have. Also,
Andrew,
do you ever
just like you, I buy my clothes from TU in Sainsbury's.
Did you take advantage of the 25% off last week?
No, but I saw that you did. I was fucking jealous.
Well, that's not my problem. Also, do you ever allow eye contact with your tailor?
I don't have a tailor, Andy.
Yes or no?
Cul-de-sac.
Yes or no?
I'm calling it a cul-de-sac.
Bastard.
Oh,
Final question.
Go on.
Obviously, you travel here today from Market Harbour by train in the first class carriage. What is your procedure when a normal person sits beside you in first class, e.g. if they've had a lottery win or just gone into first class by mistake? Do you A, phone Crime Stoppers?
Right.
B, play dead until they've gone away again? Or C, spray vinegar into their eyes?
If I would, my instinct would be to go down the Crime Stoppers line.
Keep it legal and above board.
Yeah, I wouldn't like my face plastered all over Twitter. As if it would be, as the man who attacked someone with vinegar.
With vinegar spray.
Yeah, vinegar's a terrible weapon.
It is.
South Africa story, Andrew.
Okay.
Interested?
Slightly.
So, when I was in South Africa, there was one day I wasn't filming till the evening, so I thought I'd take a sightseeing trip to the Langa Township and Robben Island, with this, because there was this minibus just down the road.
I'm sure
Authentic
there was,
Cape Town tour,
Yeah. Right? Sounds authentic.
That's the Authentic Cape Town Tour. That's a nice name for an authentic tour company, isn't it, Andy? Don't you think?
Or a prog rock group.
Only 3 other people on the bus, right? The sort of middle-aged American couple and a little Chinese fella about my age.
Right.
Would you call me middle-aged or am I old?
Oh,
though?
you're old.
Just old.
Yeah.
The driver was the tour guide as well, big Afrikaans bloke, Rufel van der Bjerg or something like that. And he would point out landmarks with his mic as we went along. So we just left the hotel, he'd say, that shop there's Rudy's General Store. Oldest store in the town. Fucking rip-off. And Rudy's a sour prick to boot. Then he guys carried on. There's the old fire station full of gangbangers smoking poofy and farting into wooden cups with lids as tight as a Sprat's passage. And so on and so forth. Well, after a bit of this, the American couple on the tour ask if they can get off and request the money back because of the foul language, you know. Nah, chance you Yankee pussies. I'm authentic and that's what you signed up for. Now fuck off back to the Radisson, you ugly sons of bitches. Right, he virtually like rustles them off the bus like cattle, you know what I mean? So that just leaves me and this little Chinese bloke who looks scared stiff. He's got his head down and I think I can hear him sobbing. But he stays on the bus. Anyway, we leave the main city and take the highway up to the township. Driver's gone quiet and we turn off a slip road where he pulls the bus up into a lay-by. He stands up, points at me. You, come out and help me. I'll need to top up the fuel. Mm-hmm. So I thought, fair enough. So I joined him outside and he's getting stuff out of like the luggage hold bit. Yeah. Gets a red plastic bucket out, a hunting knife, a petrol can and a length of blue nylon rope, a fold-away chair and then, fucking hell, a rifle. Points the rifle straight at me, Andy.
Here we go.
Right, it's time for you to show my tour some respect. Take off your strides and knickers. So, what can I do? I got a gun pointing at me. Yeah,
do it, haven't you?
So I do. Then he hands me the bucket and the knife, and he says, "Start cutting the bucket into small strips, and then feed them into your anus." Well, what can I do? I guess so. I start cutting at the bucket into little bits. Suddenly, the little Chinese fella appears at the door of the coach. Why are we stopping this way by? This tour is a bastard shambles. He says, get back in the fucking bus, Confucius. But he doesn't get back in the bus, Andy.
Whoa.
He steps down and he slowly walks straight towards the gun that's pointing at him. He then reaches out his hand and puts his finger in the barrel. Yeah. He says, Confucius, he say, better be the man staring into the abyss than bang! Driver blasts his hand off and a bit of his shoulder, and the Chinese fella falls to the floor, right? Well, I can't help myself. The instincts kick in, so I rush over and, next to his face and with what seems like his dying breath, he says to me, gangbangers, you got to fucking rough them. I turn round just in time to see the American bloke who got off earlier creep up behind the driver, smack him over the head with a lump of concrete. So, oh, jeez, mate, how did you even get here? He says, I'm undercover cop, mate. Been cooling this bloke for weeks. I've gone Australian, have I?
Yeah, but, it's all right.
Tourists keep disappearing on this tours. Looks like we've got him now. You've survived. I said, would he really have? I mean, what really made me feed the whole bucket into my anus? You bet, bro. Made the last one stick a skateboard up there. Fucking gangbangers, you gotta love them. Well, my accents were great there. Do you think that story was a bit like the movie Baby Driver? You know, with the travelling in the car and the baddie
guns and stuff.
Guns and
yeah, probably as close to any other film you've ever mentioned.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Well, but it was thank you,
Bob. Would you like to call me a massive twat at this point?
You massive twat.
Thanks, Bob.
So, I've got this song I'm just desperate to do, Andy, because it's been sent to me by... it's sent on a tape, so if I just play the tape, to be honest,
all right,
I can just find it. It's Barry Homeowner.
Okay.
Yup. So, my name's Barry Homeowner, Barry C. Homeowner, actually. What's the C for, you say? Sailing ships, in I reply. But that's only jokes, only the laughals. It's Colin. Barry Colin, homeowner. Just to bring you up to speed of Rooney, I'm 35, recently single, got an incredible sense of humour that is literally off the scale. Big scales, like those they use to weigh trucks. Yup, average height 5'5" or thereabouty. Popular at school and at work, popular on Facebook, and frequent flyer in all the buzzing chat rooms. Yeah, I'm Barry C, homeowner. I got a beautiful house in a cul-de-sac. It's got a garden at the front and decking round the back. It's got a square front lawn and a cherry tree and a house sign that reads Serendipity. 'Cause once you're inside, it will blow your mind. It will change how you thought about art and design. Yes, once you're inside, you won't want to leave. You'll want to question me about all I've achieved. I've got a walk-through lounge into kitchen diner, fitted units and a kitchen island. Got a wall-mounted eye-level coffee machine and an inbuilt oven that's completely self-clean. I got an L-shaped deep red leather settee and a curved screen 4K HD TV. Wireless control for the boiler and blinds. Yes, once you're inside, it's going to blow your mind. Yeah, the wife did a leave a Rooney about 5 months ago. No kids to complicate things. Turned out I had very thin sperm. She got a new fella now. Sometimes see them out and about in the shopping centre. He's taller than me. Had a mate of mine follow him once. Seems he owns a tapas bar, stroke art gallery near the old Corn Exchange. Truth is, we were incompetata. She wanted to spend money on holidays. I wanted to spend it on upgrades on the sound system. I love broadband. She loves Broadchurch. She liked paying for thrills. I like paying the bills online and on time. Do you get the pitcheroo? So I've named my new smoothie a Leave-a-Rooney. I got double glazing, the savings amazing. Got a nursery room for the kids I'm not raising. I kept a key to a car and one of her bras. I've got every password that she ever used. She did a Leave-a-Rooney. She walked out on me when I was out with me mum. In Peterlee, I gave her every move and every line to keep her in my life until we expired. So step into this empty house of mine. It will change how you thought about art and design. And once you're inside, you won't want to leave. Unlike that bitch with her new bloke Steve, I got a queen-size bed that feels like a two. I've been collecting her hairs from the dressing room. Her new bloke Steve is a spit of DJ Spoonie. I guess that's why she did a Leave-a-Rooney. Yeah. So that was Barry. That were a long song, wasn't
Jesus Christ. That was. I don't think I've ever hated anyone so much
as Barry.
As I hate Barry Homeowner.
So, but it's not. I mean, I think of the wife. She's got out.
She has.
And she's copped off with someone who looks like
lad.
DJ Spoonie.
Yeah.
It's not bad, is it?
Can we have a quick game of yes or no behind the door?
Yeah, of course.
See the door there in the studio?
Not that door.
Not that one. Imagine. I know it's logistically impossible.
Because
there isn't space for fitting another door unless it was a really thin door.
Yeah.
Like a half a door. Just
what
imagine
you could call this section behind the thin door.
Behind the thin door. Yes or no behind the thin door, right? I want you to imagine things I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Behind that thin door. First one, Jimmy Neal.
Yeah.
Naked doing Tai Chi, but with a finger puppet hanging off his Douglas. Would you go through and look at that?
No.
Fair enough. Second one, Acker Bilk, shit-faced, and his hat's come off.
Yes, thank you. I just go there after you said Acker Bilk, yeah.
Every time. Final one, Colonel Gaddafi.
Yeah.
He's grilling some unidentified Sorry. Colonel Gaddafi is grilling some unidentified animal knackers and he's just about to dish them up.
No, I'll spend my time through the thin door with
What if they smell really nice?
No, honestly, I don't want to. I don't want to
All
see
right, 1 out of
balls
3.
being cooked. I've got a weekend coming up, a weekend of what you might call football, Andy. I'm going up to Middlesbrough tomorrow to see us play Preston.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see Spurs play Burnley at Wembley on Sunday.
Are you?
So,
Are you going to be one of those Spurs tourist fans that goes because it's Wembley?
No, if you were a Borough fan, you'd know why I'm going. We've got a particular relationship with Burnley.
You do, yeah.
And
hatred.
And I just fancy going to see what happens. You know, it could be a pleasure for me.
All right, okay.
So I thought I'd go along. I'm going along VIP.
Yeah, obviously.
Bobby Moore.
You never know who you'll bump into when you're there as well.
I might bump into someone. I might do. But that's enough. You don't want to talk about football, would you like to?
No, not at all. I just want to get this over with because I want to go home because I'm going to holiday tomorrow.
Oh, where you going to your Spanish retreat?
Spanish retreat, yeah.
So tell me this, Andy. I was wondering about that. You go Salou, don't you?
Yeah.
On the beach at Salou, there's a certain amount of like continental nudity occurs.
I've never been to the beach.
Ah, well then I alert you because I know you've got younger kids.
Frightened of sand.
You were kidding me.
No, I am. Got pathological fear of sand.
So where's that come from?
I got kicked in the face.
No, that's
on
you,
the
Andy.
What,
you've got the fear of sand.
Yeah.
So you were attacked with pepper or very small grain couscous or something?
Gang of lads.
A gang of lads sanded you up?
Kicked the shit out of me.
Is that a Sunderland thing?
Seaburn, yeah.
Seaburn sand, like forced
Ironically, it was because I was doing nude bathing.
Please tell me, Andy. So your kids can't go on the beach at Salou?
Well, they can, but I've got to sit on the pavement and watch.
You can't leave your kids on that. That's a massive, massive beach.
Is it a mad beach?
It's packed.
I'm not going to the beach then.
So what do? Do you make them just stay in the room?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. What, watch the telly? Watch Disney cartoons?
Yeah, we go watch the Spanish channels. It's changing.
Oh, no, you're only the buffet, aren't you?
The all-inclusive.
The all-inclusive, that's all you're there for.
Chips with everything.
Yeah, and you sit there, totting it up and boring your kids saying, now, if you'd bought that at home, right, down at the Chippy, that would have been $6.90.
Yeah.
So we've paid, and a glass of wine, so we've paid 30 quid, right? And we're here for 10 nights, so that's 300 quid. So basically, this holiday is free.
Yeah, exactly it. Yeah.
But Dad, all we do is sit and watch cartoons in Spanish.
Yeah.
Never fucking mind that, kid, eh? Never fucking mind that. Think of the savings we're making.
Change the scenery, innit? And air conditioning in the room. The air conditioning's free.
The air conditioning's free.
Yeah.
Step inside.
Hello, Mr. Chips.
Tell me what. Just do your catchphrase once more before I do the Scottish tale.
Milk's off.
No.
No?
No, today's catchphrase.
Oh, today's?
Yeah, I could have nicked it.
I could have nicked it. But I didn't.
But I didn't. I could have nicked it, but I didn't. It's not bad. It's a nice way to, every time you go in a shop, you could say that to the cashier, couldn't you? Because you could have nicked it.
It's going to be rife after today. Everyone will be doing it. And I'll be out of the country.
I could have nicked it,
but I didn't.
Once every 5 years, a lottery was held on the island. The prize a day's visit to the mainland with £20 spending money. This year's winner was a young lad called John Craggs. 5 years earlier, the winner was a lassie called Nellie Cochrane. She had never returned from her mainland trip, and many speculated she may have managed to make her escape and start a new life on the mainland. This is what John Craggs wished for himself. The day arrived and John was deposited on the mainland shore by Malloch, the laird's security detail. You have 3 hours, laddie. Be sure to be prompt, or we shall miss the tides and risk the laird's anger. John ran into town, dizzy and breathless at the sights before him. He was transfixed by the bold and aspirational frontage of Sports Direct and made it his first port of call. Immediately he saw a basket of white toweling socks, full to the brim and dazzling in their appeal. 19 pairs for $1.99. He couldn't resist and plucked out a particularly plump-looking bundle. Barely had he moved another 2 metres when he caught his breath at a replica Oldham Athletico away kit from the 2015 season. £7.99, extra large only, but convinced he would grow into it, he grabbed it greedily. Fearing he would spend up at his first port of call, he continued this frenzy. Fearing he would be spent up if he continued this frenzy, he made his way, eyes strictly to the floor, to the checkout. £9.98, said the cashier. Would you like one of our fidget spinners, reduced to £5 from £60, and quite the rage at the present? What do they do? Asked John. They rotate whilst balanced on your thumb. Aye, and then what? Nothing, sonny. They just rotate until they stop rotating, at which point you can flick them again to enjoy a further spell of rotation. Wow, and you say these are quite the thing? Aye, I'll take one. I've often dreamed of rotation partially under my control. Leaving Spots Direct, he had just £5 and twopence left. He sniffed the air and his nose guided him to Costa Coffee. I'll stop there and you'd say, what do you think might happen at Costa Coffee?
There'll be a lassie there.
Yeah.
Will she have tits to spare?
Well,
just a hunch.
You know, the truth is, how dare I? But here goes. He purchased a medium skinny hot chocolate and seated himself by the window. He took his finger fidget out and began to play. Shortly he was joined by a young lassie in a red cagoule and tartan trousers. I see you have a finger fidget, laddie. May I gaze upon it like I might gaze upon a drummer in a successful pub band? Aye, it's quite the thing, you know. May I have a wee spin? Asked the lassie. Aye, of course, I want you to be happy. The lassie stood up and removed her cagoule. Underneath she wore a 2015 Oldham replica kit in extra small. It was more than instantly apparent that she had a frightening amount of tut to spare. John couldn't help himself. Will you look at the tits on you, lassie? There's an excess bordering on a surfeit. You would need to employ a surveyor to get the full leisure of them. And hold them. Oh, you wish to hold them, do you, laddie? It will cost you, and it's heavy work, are you sure? I've little money, but you can keep my finger fidget if I was allowed to bear their weight for a moment. What's your name, by the way? Nellie Cochrane. Do you remember that name, Andy?
Not really.
She was the lassie who disappeared when she won the annual draw, and people thought that she'd escaped to the mainland.
In a previous episode?
No, in the start of this episode.
Jesus. Carry on.
What's your name, by the way? Nellie Cochrane. Hello, Nellie, barked Malak. Long time no see. You're coming with me. But Malak, I was about to swim in her tuts. Aye, you'll be swimming soon enough, lad, with the fishes. Come now and I'll take those socks. That's a lovely plump bundle you selected. Good lad! As they approached the island, Malak stopped the boat and let out a wailing call that can only be described as infuriating and lengthy. Shortly there was a commotion in the water, and from beneath its surface, Henrik, the laird's sea pig, bearing its lead net for sinking of escapees, appeared. But it was not their fate to be drowned this day, for they both died instantly on seeing Henrik's face. For he had the face of Joey Barton! The face of Joey Barton! The face of Joey Barton! Okay, Andy, it's been super. I'm going to clap us both.
I'll join in.
One last bark of your catchphrase, please.
I could have nicked it, but I didn't.
Oh, yeah!